Welcome back inside the Alabama Film Room. I'm Lauren Sisler. This is John Parker Wilson, our final Alabama Film Room of the 2016 season. I know we just rang in the new year, and we rang in the new year Lane Kiffin, now no longer the offensive coordinator at Alabama. Steve Sarkisian is in. First and foremost, what kind of impact does this have? You've been a quarterback, your offensive coordinator gets shifted around, you've got somebody new at the helm. How does that affect you?
Yeah, so I just think it's different with 1 week left. I don't think you can change too much if you're Sarkisian coming in. He's going to basically stick with the plays that we've had all year. He's been in all the meetings, the staff meetings, getting ready for the game. So I think you're going to take the same plays. The only difference is going to be a new guy's going to be calling it. It's going to be a new voice on third down. And I think that is another big difference, is the voice that is going to be talking to these guys for just the last week. They've heard Lane Kiffin for the past 3 years. Sarkisian will come in. I think he'll do a great job, though. He's been there long enough. It would worry me if he's only been there since the SEC championship or after the season, but being there the whole year, I think he's going to do just fine.
All right, JP, let's break down some game film from the college football semifinal here in Alabama, beating Washington 24-7, and Bo Scarbrough, breakout game, 180 yards, 19 carries.
Yeah, I think Bo from the beginning of the year to now is just a different person. He's healthy. He's got the confidence. And now he's got the confidence of the coaching staff being able to call on him as many times as they did. But this right here is the story of Bo. And I think it's breaking tackles. All game and really all year, he's been able to get to guys and break them. I mean, he's one of the biggest guys on the field, runs like a wide receiver. But the way he's able to take on, like this clip right here, linebackers and defensive linemen and just get to the end zone, this is pretty remarkable stuff because he's creating his own hole. We're doing a good job of getting him to the linebackers, but once he gets past them, I mean, he's running by people. Right here, just safeties can't wrap him up and honestly don't want to wrap him up. I mean, he's bigger than everybody else and just doing a great job. And I think a lot of that has to do with confidence. Right here, this is a great run, breaking 2 tackles in the backfield, corner coming up, and then showing the speed. I think he's a complete package running back and really exciting to see him come on late in this half season.
You know what I say to that? Bo Ninja, Bo Ninja, Bo, Bo. All right, so let's take a look at the weaknesses here. Obviously, Alabama gave up a touchdown to Jake Browning. Just some of the weaknesses and what you saw there in the secondary.
Okay, so we'll pick up on the defensive side of the ball, and I think overall we had a great game. I mean, Washington is known for taking care of the balls. Jake Browning, a dual-threat quarterback, running the ball offensively and throwing it. We'll highlight this play right here. My fellow Hoover alumni, Marlon Humphrey, I hate to do it, but it's just, a DB getting caught guessing. And I think the biggest difference is it's in the first quarter. The ball game is tied, and it's still early. We're still working out things, and he's guessing. I think later on in the game we saw when we had the lead, you don't have to take this guess. You can keep him underneath you. Right here, watch him the double move, the stop and go. This is something where you go back to the film room and yeah, he probably shouldn't have been as hard. And maybe he won't. He won't do that in the championship game. I mean, a great throw and catch, and it wasn't beat too bad. But I think this is something for the defense to build on and learn and saying, okay, we can't take those chances, especially as high-powered as Clemson offense is going to be.
And then you talk about the Clemson defense going up against this Alabama offense. Jalen Hurts really struggling in this football game. Let's break down some film here of some of his passing plays and what you saw from him.
Well, I'm not going to go as far as to say we struggled. I just think the production was what it hadn't been. We expect them to have these breakout games, 100 yards passing, 200 yards rushing, 200 yards passing. I think the game plan we had was to be more methodical and strategic. Obviously, he can still run the ball, and I think this is his bread and butter of cranking out 10-yard runs like this. I think it makes our offense a lot more dynamic, a lot more unpredictable when Jalen has the ball in his hands. Right here, I like this. This is kind of what we saw at the end of the last year, throwing it across the middle to O.J. Howard, throwing it to the big guy. I think one of the things we'll look for in this Clemson game is spreading the ball around a lot more. I know O.J. didn't have a lot of touches. Ardarius Calvin definitely didn't. So it's going to be Sarkisian's new duty is distributing the ball to all these different playmakers because we have so many guys. Can't get into a lull of trying to get it to Bo too much, trying to give it to Calvin, try to force it to these guys. I think that's going to be one of the biggest challenges that Sarkisian has to face is getting back into the rhythm of a play caller because, it changes on third down. Now it's third and short. Now you've got 1st and 10 in the red zone. He's going to have to quickly make adjustments for Alabama to win.
JP, you talked about it earlier. Steve Sarkisian, now the new voice of the offense in this team. You've had a chance to spend some time with the team. You got to practice with them earlier this season. What do you gather from him? How does he interact with the players, and just overall, how is he as a person?
Well, he hadn't been able to act with the players because his role has been an analyst. So now is the first chance for him to get to go in there and meet face-to-face with players, to be that guy at the front of the room conducting the meetings. But I think it's great because he's been there. He's been able to take a step back and say, if I was the coordinator, this is probably what I would do. He's been able to say, okay, next year I'll be ready. He's just thrust into it a little faster. But I love his demeanor. I love the ability for him to come back and say, I got a chance to go, start the second chapter of my book in a national championship game against Clemson.